Alright guys, happy Friday. We have made it through another week here. Let's recap it, then let's go relax before we start that weekend prep. So the Bulls take control of the wheel here this week. So I'm thinking potentially the flush we just sat through was your dip to the weekly 21 in an uptrend that held support, held structure. In other words, typically serves as a pretty good buying opportunity. So step 1 is hold support at the weekly 21. Step 2 is rebuild your daily chart. The indexes did a pretty damn good job of trying to regain some structure to the daily charts this week. So S&P 500 back above the daily 21, daily squeeze, stacked DMAs, green 10x bars. It's a beaut. QQQ back above the 21, stacked DMAs, green 10x bars. In these daily squeezes here, they are nested inside of weekly squeezes. So QQQ, S&P 500, weekly, daily squeeze, stacked DMAs, green 10x bars. In my book, that's a good structure to take you into higher highs. So I do think the stage is set here for that push into the end of the year, the push into early January, and all of that for me goes out the window if we end up trading under the weekly 21. But the Bulls did a good job this week of regaining control, regaining a little bit of structure. If we look at momentum, no red 10x bars here for the S&P. If you look at the QQQs, no red 10x bars. So until something drastically changes here, I'm going to continue to work the same game plan that I've been bringing you over the last few weeks here, which is your pullback into the weekly 21. Typically a pretty good buying opportunity. Now you don't buy it hand over fist immediately. You wait for structure to print, then you take action here. So in terms of a few spots, I think they're going to be solid here. The easy trade, the simple trade, is just getting long the QQQ. We got January expiration put spreads down here at 380 that we bought on the dip. Looking to add a bit more exposure. So you have the structure there, but keep in mind, Microsoft looks awesome here. Google, daily, 3-day, weekly squeeze. Apple is on crack cocaine. I thought we got a good exit at 170. Apple hits just about 180 here today. So there's good structure all throughout QQQ, or at least in your leading names here. So you could try to get long Microsoft and Apple and Google, or you could trade the QQQ. QQQ hits new highs. Apple's strong, Microsoft is strong, Google's strong, even Amazon's probably strong. So just keep in mind, in terms of risk management, it's easier to manage 1 or 2 positions versus 5 or 6. So the QQQ here, you kind of cover all those bases in one trade. But in terms of Microsoft, we'll spend a few minutes here. What a gorgeous daily squeeze. You got your weekly and your daily green lights. And I think with next week being monthly expiration, the pin into 350 wouldn't really surprise me all that much. It's your previous all-time high. It's a big, sexy, round number. And you have the structure here. 4-hour squeeze still hasn't fired. So next week, Microsoft into 350. Wouldn't really surprise me. Bigger picture thinking. A daily squeeze poised for new all-time highs. None of that happens if the QQQ rolls over. I don't have any positions there. For Google, good-looking 3-day. Good-looking daily squeeze. Even better-looking 3-day. And that weekly is freaking sweet. So I think Google here is gearing up for a push into, I'd look for 3100. It's 3/8AR on your weekly chart. And what Apple just gave you was 3/8AR on the weekly and a little bit more. A little bit mo. But Google, uptrend, triple squeeze, stacked DMAs, it's got the structure here. It completely unravels if the market rolls over. But if your S&P and your QQQ fire their squeezes to the upside, I think Google here poised for brand new all-time highs. And Apple's just beast mode. So at this point, you wait for your next 15-minute squeeze, you wait for your next 30-minute squeeze, you accept the fact we're extended, but you find a 30-minute squeeze, you jump in. It's a pretty good way to kind of keep on milking whatever momentum is left here. I'd prefer to buy it on a dip to the 8 EMA. So tech is looking good here. Amazon continues to lag behind. So I do think the weekly squeeze, and we still have January expiration put spreads here. I think the weekly squeeze, if the QQQ can break out, I think Amazon's next in line. That weekly squeeze could get you into 39.50, 4,000. Probably doesn't unfold all that quickly. But if the S&P fires a squeeze, if the QQQ fires a squeeze, the Zonster here should wake up at some point, so long as that daily squeeze and the 3-day continue to hold good structure. So you got your QQQ there, you got your tech, semiconductors. Beautiful looking daily chart here. Weekly, daily, green lights. Stacked DMAs, green 10x bars. So really anything in the group here, probably a good candidate. They all roll over if the market rolls over. But you've got ON, semiconductor, that's clean. Everybody's favorite, NVIDIA. A little bit of chop here this week, but it's all good daily squeeze action. And we picked up some AMD here this week. We'll probably pick up a little bit more if we come down to the 50. But right along there with the QQQ, SMH looks pretty solid. But then you look at weekly charts here. The financials have a great looking weekly squeeze. So that's probably poised for a good move here if the S&P can fire long. So as goes XLF, there's Goldman Sachs in a pretty solid weekly squeeze. I think we got a little bit of that in the options room this week. So Goldman looks good. XLF looks good on a weekly chart. The healthcare sector looks good here on a weekly chart. At the end of the day, this is a squeeze that matters. The two squeezes that matter, S&P 500, QQQ. If they fire to the upside, we get that 4 to 5 plus weeks of momentum into the end of the year. Shorts are screwed, and pretty much everything goes higher. So I think as you build your watch list here and you look to get positioned for that potential move, just focus on clean structure, focus on squeezes, focus on green 10x bars, focus on all the things that make for a good setup. One more here I'll show you is Roblox. Early stages here, potentially trying to get into a trend. Here's your first pull back to the 21. Prints a brand new daily squeeze with some green lights here. So we got some Roblox for January and February expiration. And then Tesla, a little bit sloppy this week. Holds above 1,000, holds above the 50. I'm looking for a bounce next week back above the 21 EMA. And maybe you get the 1100 pin into expiration. You could also get the 1000 pin or the 950. I'll take the 1100, please. But I'm looking for Tesla to get its ass back above the daily 21. I'm going to look for a lot less red 10x bars. Throw a couple of greenies in there. And then I think try to get some positions here for January expiration. But in a nutshell, my friends, welcome to the December Squeeze Fest. S&P 500, QQQ, the Dow, semiconductors, technology, you name it, there's probably a squeeze. And that, they should go without saying, I love me some of that. But that's what I got for you, a quick recap of this week. What we've been discussing over the last handful of weeks here is, does this pullback hold up at the weekly 21? If it does, probably not the time to buy puts into last Friday's close, and probably the time to patiently look to build some long positions. I'm not a perma bull, guys. Market breaks the weekly 21, we're on here shorting this thing. But until you break the weekly 21, be careful shorting its support, and the trend is your friend. So we'll see if Santa shows up here for the Santa rally this year, but the structure is there. It's definitely there. So good stuff this week, guys. I'll have the Sunday video out early, Sunday morning with the watch list. I'll go through scan results, fire up the options chain here, show you my positions. But that's what I got for you today. I hope you had a good week. If you find this stuff helpful from Chandler and I, let us know in the comments here. I love putting the videos together, but it is good to know if it's helping some of y'all. And more importantly, is it helping you make some money out there? But I appreciate you. Talk to you guys soon.